Welcome to Animation Month on It's a Wonderful Podcast. Everybody knew that we were doing Animation Month, or at least if you were following the show, you knew we were doing Animation Month in July. It is the first Friday in July right now, unless you're not listening to it on the day it comes out, which you might not be, who knows. As long as you're listening to it, I'm happy. I am Morgan Robinson, as always, one of your hosts, alongside Nolan Dean, who is also here.
I am also here. It is early in the morning. I have not had nearly enough cups of coffee that I should have, but let's get on with this. I mean, man, I've got some stuff to say about Snow White.
Yeah, that is what we decided to do for the first of these little series of 4 animations we're doing in July. I thought we'd start off at the beginning of animated feature films with Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And I want to say what my favourite thing about Snow White is the animation style, the hand-drawn, the slightly imperfect hand-drawn nature of it. I always think that hand-drawn animation looks so much better than computerized animation anyway, which is why despite what sort of content they may contain, I always prefer watching older Disney films like Snow White rather than like Frozen. You know?
I get you there. I mean, I think we have to consider as well that back then, animation was only used for like shorts and little cartoons. This was like a first feature, and it at the time. Consider this. At the time, this was a risk for Disney. Did it pay off?
Look, it paid off absurdly well. But Walt Disney Studios didn't exist when Snow White was released. This was released by RKO Pictures. RKO Radio.
Is that Randy Orton's studio?
No, it's my favorite. It's my favorite Golden Age studio because they call themselves RKO Radio Pictures. What is a radio picture? You can't have a picture on the radio, RKO. Don't be silly.
Is it like that song from The View, You Have a Face for the Radio?
I've no idea. Well, I do have a face for the radio. That's why this isn't a video show. But yeah, Walt Disney Studios wasn't a thing. Imagine that. Imagine a world where Disney doesn't actually run the world. Just imagine it.
There's a lot of angry Star Wars fans that might be happy about that.
Well, yes. Not in 1937, though.
Yeah.
As there was no 40 years of Star Wars. But yeah, a huge risk by Walt Disney. I like the little message in the sort of start of the opening credits, which is basically, apparently, Walt Disney saying thank you to everyone who was a part of this. This could not have happened without you. Which is nice, because, like we've said already about 14 times, it was the first animated feature film. And that is an absolutely huge historical moment in the history of motion picture. Pictures in motion.
You know what I love about it?
What do you love about it?
It's based on a book.
It is based on a fairy tale, isn't it? And to be quite honest, you can see just how dragged out, dragged out this film is.
Which is funny to say for a film that's only 80 minutes long.
Look, it is, and I do enjoy it. I enjoy it from start to finish. There's no doubt about it. But the story is literally 5 minutes long.
Yeah, I totally get that, but something I really appreciate about it, even though there's some stuff that's kind of dated now, I love how well they incorporated the grim fairy tale element to this, like specifically with certain sequences that are, let's just say, probably going to have your kids running behind the couch.
Yeah, I mean, I must say I'm a fan of the evil queen above all other things.
She's the
In
best
Snow
part of the
White,
movie.
she is by far the best part, right from the start. I've always thought the magic mirror looks absolutely terrifying as well. He's got a really gaunt face.
Oh
I
yeah,
love that.
like that dude was
You get
Morgan Freeman before Morgan Freeman.
well. Let's not talk about Morgan Freeman these days
Yeah, good point.
anymore. Um, but yeah, that's all. It's the opening scene really is the magic mirror on the wall. Who's the fairest one of all? Who's like, oh, well, it's not you anymore, evil queen. What's her name? Does she have a name?
Grimhild.
Okay, there you go. Throwing out the knowledge.
Some people nowadays might know her as Regina Adams from Once Upon a Time.
Oh, see, I don't watch Once Upon a Time. I've toyed with the idea of watching it. Should I watch it?
The first season's pretty solid. It focuses a lot on the evil queen, but then it gets kind of ridiculous.
Oh yeah, see, I get that from it. I get it. I can tell that it gets silly and tries doing too much stuff. Anyway, you get all that, and the terrifying, or at least the first terrifying element is right. Huntsman, go and kill the girl.
And the huntsman does not look like Chris Hemsworth, which I
Well,
was
the huntsman
confused
does
about.
not look like Chris Hemsworth. It's a shame that the huntsman does not look like Chris Hemsworth, because wouldn't we all like to look like Chris Hemsworth?
Yes, and
I know I would.
he's got some great abs.
Yeah, but that's all. Oh, sorry. When the huntsman, he's like, and they give the shot of the huntsman holding the knife above. He's like, "Jeez, man, what are you doing?" Obviously, he doesn't.
You look in his
anything.
eyes, and you can see the way he's drawn. Like, this doesn't look like an evil person, and you can tell that from how he reacts to the scene later on. Like, it's like when it's like when your nan's holding a knife. It's that threatening.
Well, you don't know. Some people might have murderous grandmothers. It's possible. I'm sure it's happened. But yeah, that's again. You bring it up there. That's what I love about hand drawn. You'd get too much sort of detail in a CG based animated film. In a CG animated film, I always feel like you get far too much detail. And yes, a big argument could be made. Oh, why is that a bad thing? And it's not a bad thing. It's personal preference that I like hand drawn. It feels more like people have put work into it when I can see that it's been drawn. And obviously, loads of people in modern animation put loads and loads of hours and endless hours, and you do a great job with the CG animation. Incredibles 2 has made how much money already?
Probably
400 billion.
I mean, I'm more a fan of stop motion animation than anything else.
Yeah, I like stop motion as well. Again, stop motion's one of the ones where I can tell just from watching it just how much work's gone into it. And I can the same with hand drawn. But yeah, the whole running through the woods scene is intense.
It's terrifying. Like, Disney would not do a scene like that nowadays.
No chance. Absolutely no chance. Scar your children for life.
And it's funny to me that this is the first movie we chose, because on our poll, there was an option for fantasy, musicals, and animation, and this is all of three of that.
Well, yeah, that's very true, but, I mean, essentially all Disney are musicals.
Yes.
Essentially.
Let's talk about something that I sort of see why it was done, and I kind of have an issue with it. Snow White herself is probably the most boring part of this movie.
Oh, God, yeah. the most one-dimensional possible character.
And it's not that that's a bad thing. Like, I kind of love that the reason she's the fairest of them all is because she's very innocent and kind and compassionate, but she doesn't really have any personality traits beyond that, and it just kind of bothers me. But I suppose that's going for the whole she's the fairest of them all because she's kind, and the queen will never be that because she's not kind.
Or, this is a film made about a woman by a load of men.
Yeah, there is that too. And she's like,
I think
Snow White's like a teenager, isn't she?
Snow White's supposed to be about 14, I think. Which, again, in itself is wrong. Is just really dodgy. I don't care for it. What I was saying before about how the fact that the actual story could be told in 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, this could be like a pretty effective short film.
Oh God, yeah. But then it's, of course, filled out with a bunch of great musical numbers, I have to say. But also, like, I can't remember the last time I watched Snow White before today.
I was about 10 the last time I watched it.
Oh, no, it's been more recent than that for me. Because I only watched it for the first time reasonably recently. But what I seemed to forget was the amount of focus on hygiene in this film.
It's almost like a PSA for kids.
It's ridiculous. There's got to be a good 20 minutes of pure just cleaning up and washing the Seven Dwarfs.
It's got a very conservative Catholic undertone to it. Like, you even show her praying at one point for her prince to come and see her, and I'm like, okay, that is just weird. Like, you don't need to show that at all.
You said Snow White was arguably the worst part of this film. The goddamn prince is legitimately the worst part.
Oh, he's
literally
he's just
not
a
human being. What is he doing? I forgot about him. I forgot he existed halfway through the film.
He shows up and just falls in love. Like,
no, it's
that is not love. That is stalking, my good sir.
This is what we hate about old Disney, and to a point, modern Disney as well, to a certain degree, to a lesser degree. But
yeah, they have improved their romance stories a lot nowadays. Like, Flynn Rider and Rapunzel and Tangle is a really well-developed one.
Well, that's fair enough. But okay, here's Snow White. She's by a wishing well. She's singing with a load of birds because that's what she does. And, who's this popping his head over the wall? Oh, it's some appallingly handsome prince.
Why does every, prince and princess have, these are supposed to be teenagers and they sing like bloody opera stars?
Well, that's the film element of it. That's the filmic element of it.
Funny, when I was watching it and that came on, my brother came into my room and saying, fuck Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. That just woke me up.
Great singer. Really great singer.
Does not sound like a prince. That's supposed to be this age. His voice should be breaking. They should have got a Justin Bieber type to play him.
Well, the thing is, I'll bet all the goddamn money I have on this. Snow White might be 14, but you can bet that prince is about 35.
Yikes, that is weird.
I'm being legit there. That is probably true.
Most likely, yeah.
This is the sort of downside of old Disney films, is that if they've not got racism in them, they've got a hell of a lot of sexism in them.
Yeah.
Despite how admirable they are as works of art.
And in that, I'll give modern Disney an advantage, because they do attempt to show different perspectives in modern Disney now, so I've got to give them props for that. Yeah,
definitely. But yeah, I don't like the prince. My favorite. Do you know what? I forgot how sexist Grumpy was as well.
Oh God,
He's a very
it's almost
sexist man.
it's almost hilarious. Like it's like an SNL skit. Like the stuff he says is just like, ooh, black magic, witches, women, and like, dude, I get it. You're supposed to be like a really unlikable guy, but Jesus Christ.
I mean, there's somewhat of a little bit of a redemption sort of arc in Grumpy, but the sort of stuff he's coming out with when you first meet him is just like, Jesus, man, calm down. Hates women, Grumpy does. The others don't. The others are perfectly fine with the whole situation. And I mean, why wouldn't they be fine with the whole situation? Because for some reason, Snow White has gone into their home and cleaned it for them.
That's something that I see that rubs a lot of people the wrong way nowadays. Is that Snow White just comes in and is like, oh yeah, I'll cook, I'll clean, I'll wash, I'll do this. And some people have defended that, saying like, oh well, she's just offering what she's good at to kind of help them out for letting them stay here. And I get that, but still, it paints a really weird message.
Yeah, I mean, okay, that's a fair point you bring up, but I don't care for it at all. It comes off as very, 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 very weird that any human being would just go into somebody's home and start just cleaning because it was untidy. Again, this is a film about a woman made by a load of men in the late 30s.
Have you ever tasted gooseberry pie?
No, I don't believe I have ever tasted gooseberry pie. Is it nice?
I don't know either. I think it would be kind of tart tasting.
I don't even know what a gooseberry tastes like, but I like the word gooseberry.
I was always curious about it when I was a kid. Like, Mum, can we make gooseberry pie? And she's like, no, Dean, we live in Dubai. We can't get gooseberries. That's my really bad Scottish accent.
Oh, what on earth was that? Oh, dear.
If my mother is listening, I am sorry.
How remarkably Scottish is your mother?
Very, very proudly
absolutely
Scottish.
Next level. Oh no! Oh God!
I don't know why my mother suddenly sounds like Professor McGonagall, but
oh, for God's sake! No gooseberries. I don't even know what even is a gooseberry. I don't know what a gooseberry is.
It's a green berry that with a very bitter taste, as far as I understand.
Snow White clearly is competent at making gooseberry pie, though. She seems to be doing a great job, although she's getting a lot of help by the entire forest of animals.
Which we talked about the hygiene elements, like keep those animals away from the fucking food.
Very good point. And I also thought that myself, like, oh, Snow White, yeah, she goes into the dwarf's house, towards the start. We get the whole scene with the dwarves in the mine, which I will get onto. Do not worry about that, because I have things to say about that goddamn mine. But and then you're back with Snow White. Oh, I'm tired now. Let's go to sleep. But let's not just me go to sleep. Let's go to sleep in these beds with like deer and rabbits and birds and raccoons and whatever else might be there. Like, don't take these woodland creatures into a home and have them sleep in a bed. What's going on?
Oh God. I'm just imagining that happening now and how hilarious it is.
Look, I get I'm taking it far too seriously and far too literally. And I get it's a fun film, and it certainly is a very, very fun film. But, there's certain things like that that are just like, come on, what's that? I don't
the only thing this was missing was like a giant ogre walking into the house yelling, "Get out!"
Well, speaking of which, fairly easy reference in this week, as Snow White is of course a character in Shrek herself. So there you go.
Yeah,
It's very, very
but
easy.
the other thing that I found hilarious about the whole Dwarfs thing is we talked earlier about the PSA on hygiene, but that scene where they're all washing up,
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
it's so weird. It's like a car washing commercial. Like,
You know what it really is? How much soap are they using? Why are they using that much soap? You
why are
also
they
can't
putting the
put...
bar of soap on their eyes? That's gonna
Yeah,
sting.
you can't put that much soap on your face. Because it'll just... Oh, no. Dopey, of course, ends up swallowing a bar of soap.
He's dead.
Yes, he would be. He would be after that. But no, he just hiccups a load of bubbles into the air because, we can't show death unless it's from falling off a cliff.
Our good friend Kimber, I believe, makes soap. Can swallowing soap kill you?
Yes.
Kimber, let us know in the comments.
Seriously, there's not even a question. Yes, it can.
Well, Dopey's dead.
Dopey should be dead. That's a horrible thing to say.
Dopey should be dead.
I only mean that in the sense that, like, he's constantly, like, bashing his head on things. He should at least have very severe concussion.
And have you noticed, like, the only dwarves people end up paying attention to are Grumpy and Dopey? Like, I don't think anyone really cares about the rest of them.
I care about the rest of them. I really like Sneezy.
I thought you were going to say you like Dog.
No, I don't like Doc. He annoys me, always misplacing his words. I also like Bashful because of the gif of Bashful.
Oh, God, I've seen that gif everywhere.
Pulling his beard down and going, oh, no. Which is a fantastic gif that everybody should use at all and any given opportunity. I don't care. I don't like Happy. He's barely a thing.
He's happy. That's it.
I feel like he has about 2 lines. But yeah,
the woodland
people
creatures have more screen time than him.
That's definitely true. That's absolutely true. And of course, everyone has more screen time than the prince.
The
I'm
prince
fairly
might
certain
does not be here.
I'm fairly certain the evil queen's crow or raven or whatever it is has more screen time than the prince.
The skeleton in the dungeon has more screen time than the prince.
I love the skeleton in the dungeon. That's so nasty.
And just like the way she cackles at it and throws that goblet, like that's the kind of shot that, to me, that tells an entire story.
Yeah, that's why we love the evil queen. Because she's pure, just wonderfully evil.
Deliciously evil.
Deliciously evil is a great word. Yeah, I mean, let's talk a bit about some of the musical numbers. What are 1 or 2 that stand out to you? Maybe aside from the obvious one.
I assume you're meaning Someday My Prince Will Come.
Well, actually, I was talking about Hi Ho. But,
oh yeah. Dig 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 is hilarious.
Again, that's the first scene in the goddamn mine, and I'll bring up the point now. Oh God, how many diamonds are in that mine? That's not what a mine looks like.
This is a Disney mine. That's probably what a Disney mine looks like now.
Oh, damn. Well, yeah, that's... Damn it, Disney. I disagree with the amount of good stuff in that mine.
Goldfinger is going to want to rob that mine pretty soon.
Well, I'd like to see that. Snow White in the next 2021. Snow White versus Goldfinger in the crossover of the century.
No, but we don't need James Bond coming into Snow White. It's sexist enough as it is.
Oh God, that's a good point actually. That must be why it fits so well.
Oh Christ! What are we up to?
Or is this just when Disney buys Bond? Because that's going to happen.
That's going to happen.
That could happen. I would not put it past it for that to happen. But yeah, there's far too much good stuff in that mine. And it really annoys me the fact that when they lock up the vault and they all go home, they just put the key on a hook next to the vault. Take the key with you, and nothing will get stolen.
That's what keys
leave the key
are for.
there. Why? I don't get it. There's literally like a key hook for it as well. What use is leaving the key there? Someone's just coming along. This is a locked door. I've not got a key. I'm not going to be able to get into that. Oh wait, there's a key 3 feet away from it.
It's like in the Philosopher's Stone where they have all the keys waiting, flying around. Like, take the key with you.
Yeah.
That way no one will get to the Philosopher's Stone.
Yeah. Just keep the key on your own person. Idiots. Idiots, a lot of them. All of and they're too busy singing and whistling and, massaging their own beards. which
I imagine you do on a daily basis.
Yeah, definitely have to keep it in good nick.
Do you agree with Grumpy's philosophy that the woman will just put your beards into ribbons? Which, how does that happen?
No, I don't.
That's not how beards work.
I don't agree with Grumpy's philosophy in anything really, other than the fact that he is grumpy and I am grumpy. I literally have no agreement with Grumpy whatsoever.
Do you enjoy him getting dunked into the bathtub?
Yes. Arguably my favourite part of the whole film is Grumpy being forced to have a bath by the 6 other dwarves. He's just, come on, get him, throw him, scrub him, wash his beard, wash his eyes with a brush.
Wash his eyes with a soapy brush. You are going to blind the poor man.
And throw him in with all his clothes on. Now his clothes are wet and it's the only outfit he's got.
Why is it this movie of all movies is bringing the Raoul argument of logic into it?
An argument of logic? Who's bringing it? Who's?
I mean, like they're putting soap in their eyes. They're not blinding themselves. The woodland creatures are putting their paws and shit on the food. It's like...
Look. Okay. I think it is a little unfair to be so sort of logical and literal about a film like this, because
I know, but it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's great. It's a really enjoyable 80-minute watch. You can't get around that, and it's I enjoy watching it almost more because I know how important a film it is.
Yeah.
In history. Which is why this one sort of stands above a lot of early or earlier Disney for me. And I always think early Disney is some of my favorite. Well, early Disney is my favorite era of Disney. Like I said before, despite some of the frankly awful content, I just think they are made too well to not acknowledge,
I also love how the evil queen seems to be talking to the audience.
Oh, yeah.
She was Deadpool before Deadpool.
She was Deadpool before Deadpool, Ferris Bueller before Ferris Bueller. The evil queen is Ferris Bueller, yes.
The evil queen's day off just making poisoned apples. They do it quite cleverly in Once Upon a Time. She doesn't give apples, she actually bakes them into apple pies. Which is quite clever.
That's a better idea. Here, Snow White, you needn't make your gooseberry pie. I have this apple pie for you. Better way of doing it.
Yeah, and then I can't help but laugh every time the woodland creatures try and frighten her, and Snow White's still showing compassion.
Yeah, but like you said, that is Snow White's character, really. Love and innocence for everything.
Which is probably why so many parents are quite happy to let their little girls watch this movie.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, even though it is terrifying at times.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we're going to give you nightmares, but you're also going to have a nice little naive, innocent protagonist.
Yeah, and people see, I'm sure plenty of young girls still today see, look up to Snow White and stuff. Why do you think Snow White's still a big thing at Disneyland? Because
yeah,
I'm sure Snow White has hours of queues to meet
she's
her.
She's not my favorite Disney princess, but I can see how iconic she is.
Not who's your favorite Disney princess, because I think we all know the answer is Moana. Who's your favorite old Disney princess?
Who's in the category of that?
Pre the Dark Ages, so like pre.
I mean, they're all so boring.
Pre 1960.
Yeah, once again, they're all really boring.
Yeah, but I'm asking you a question.
Well, I hate Sleeping Beauty, so I guess I have to go with Snow White.
Do you hate I like Sleeping Beauty.
That movie is so dull.
I really like Sleeping Beauty, the movie. I really do.
If we were talking my all-time favorite Disney princess, it's Belle.
That's fair. You
can. For obvious reasons.
Yeah, for very, very obvious reasons. Of course, she's French, and you like French people. No, that's
she also reads.
And yeah, that is the obvious reason, not the French argument.
Not that I don't like French people. French people make delicious food. Why am I saying that?
That's the only good thing French people do, is it? In your eyes?
Oh, they do make delicious food. They're also very pleasant people. They like baguettes and stuff. I'm not good on French culture. Stop putting me on the spot.
Baguettes? Do they all wear berets and stripy jumpers as well? And have thin moustaches.
I don't know. I haven't been to Paris in a long time.
Oh wow! Don't stereotype the French. No. Why was I talking about the French people? Oh yeah, Belle. We're not even talking about Belle. Yeah, I have to say though, if you're asking me, Sleeping Beauty is my favourite classic Disney princess.
She doesn't do anything. She literally sleeps for the whole movie.
She's got the best song. She's got the best song.
Maybe.
Better song than Snow White. Far better song than One Day My Prince Will Come. Garbage song.
Well, at least when I imagine when Sleeping Beauty sings, she doesn't sound like a Catholic schoolgirl.
I get Once Upon a Dream stuck in my head all the goddamn time.
You're gonna hate me for this, but I prefer the Lana Del Rey version of that song.
That doesn't even make sense to me. I wouldn't even know what that was.
From Maleficent, it's slightly more haunting.
You think I've seen Maleficent?
No.
No, I haven't seen Maleficent. I like Maleficent as the villain. But why are we talking about Sleeping Beauty?
You brought it up.
I did bring it up because it's great.
To be honest, it's probably filling some time because this is such a short movie that...
Oh, yeah. This I'm sure it will be a much shorter episode than usual because there's not a great deal to sort of to talk about, really.
There'll be more to delve in with some of our other choices for Animated Week, for sure.
There certainly will, which is, why it's nice to sort of just have almost a general classic Disney princess chat rather than anything else. What about Cinderella? Do we like Cinderella?
Okay, I'll give you that. I do like Cinderella quite a bit.
I like the Fairy Godmother song.
I just like the Cinderella movie, like full stop. That's a perfect movie.
It's another case of where the prince doesn't do anything.
But he has a bit more personality than this cardboard cutout.
Yeah, everybody has more personality than Prince or whatever he's goddamn called in Snow White. Sleeping Beauty's prince actually does things. He fights a dragon. Sleeping Beauty's prince actually does things. Legitimate character. Unlike this dude.
Who just walks in and out of scenes whenever he's necessary.
I think he's literally in like 2 scenes though. He's in like right at the beginning, and then like you are reminded about him. It's just like the prince who has been wandering and searching for days and weeks upon end has finally found Snow White in her glass coffin, and for some reason decides to go and kiss her. Is he aware of the spell, or are we just content with the fact that he's kissing what he believes to be a dead body?
Oh, God.
Because I hold full belief that the prince in Snow White hinges at a bit of necrophilia. I fully believe that. He can't possibly know, can he? Can he know?
I don't know. But then again, like at funerals, you do see some people who like kiss the head of the dead person if it's an open casket.
Okay, the head, fine. The head, no problem. Head, hand, whatever, fine. No problem with that. But it's the full job. It's the full job. He's getting his tongue out, is the lad.
Oh, God.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't do that. That would be absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, it's not like he's not like a Londoner kid trying to find his first kiss.
It's a bit harsh.
I see that stereotype a lot. They exist for a reason.
Yeah, fair enough. What else is there to talk about Snow White? There's really not a lot that actually happens. There's about 40... I tell you what I do like, is where they all have a dance. And they get the musical instruments out. Big fan.
But the way they play the instruments is so ridiculous. Like, I'm pretty sure there was a guy, like, bashing drums, like, full-on bashing them.
Yeah. He's that was his audition for Metallica.
Yeah, and it wasn't even Bashful that was playing them, which would have been hilarious.
Bashful bashing things. No, I think it's Dopey who plays the drums, actually, isn't it?
Of course it is.
I'm sure it is.
Fuck it is.
I'm sure it's Dopey who plays the drums. But no, I like that a lot.
It's a fun scene.
It's a very, very fun filler scene. Because let's call it what it is. It's a filler scene.
90% of this movie is a filler scene.
That's true. The only parts that aren't are everything with the Evil Queen, the 2 scenes with the prince, and her meeting the dwarves for the first time.
I do love how Snow White is meant to be a teenager, yet she acts like a very concerned mother.
She does, doesn't she? That's, again, it's like, it's weird. It's strange.
Like, have you seen what 14-year-old girls act like? Like, even back then, I'm pretty sure they weren't like that.
No, I can't imagine so.
It's like the Little Rascals. That's what it should be.
Yeah. You need a wash. Go and have a wash. Oh, I don't want a wash. You will go and have a wash, otherwise you won't be getting any tea. That's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs relationship right there.
And let's be honest, the tea she was making probably was disgusting.
Well, no, fair enough. No, Snow White's good. As we've already established, Snow White is very good at cooking.
It's got like essence of deer and rabbits and everything in it because they've been helping make it.
But to be fair, with these Disney rabbits are probably very, very clean.
Just get your knife, Snow White, and get some nice venison and do that instead.
Oh yeah, that's do. Get a venison while a deer in the room. Yeah, do that. What's that you've got over there, Snow White?
I was going to suggest that she killed the deer and make some tasty venison.
Well, see, now
That's
you're
what I would
just
have
taking
done.
it too dark.
Well, it's not a grim fairy tale.
Yeah,
It
but
can
it's
be
a
dark.
Disney-fied version. So
Yeah.
everything gets a bit ridiculous and light.
I want to make something clear. Even though we are making fun of it, we don't hate Disney.
I mean, do you
this
know?
Is like this is like this is sort of like when you make fun of your very close friend.
I kind of hate Disney the man.
Well, fair enough, but I mean like Disney the company.
Disney? No, I don't hate Disney the company. I don't hate Disney films by any means, but I do kind of hate Disney the man. There's no getting away from that. But let's not get into that because we could be here for ages. People know what Walt Disney was like, don't they? Surely they do. If you don't, search it.
If you don't, he was exactly like Tom Hanks.
So he's not exactly like. Don't bring Tom Hanks. Don't bring the good name of Tom Hanks down.
Yeah, I was referring to that thing where he played Walt Disney.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your reference.
You're supposed to be the one who brings on the trivia here.
I completely forgot about that movie ever existing. Good pull. Well done.
If there's one thing this movie did, just like, which I believe we talked about in the last episode, just like Psycho did with showers, what Jaws did for the ocean, Snow White did for apples. Apple sales went down.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I reckon Apple sales went way down after this movie. Because people are ridiculous.
Well, what about green apples? Nothing wrong with green apples.
Imagine the news, like if someone got food poisoning from an apple after seeing Snow White and they didn't know what food poisoning was. How crazy they would have been.
No, yeah, I mean, it's a fair point. You bring up a very fair point. Nobody eat apples. They might have put a spell on them.
And there's better fruit to have than apples. Let's be honest.
Yeah, a nice bunch of grapes.
Yes, if you're a Greek god.
Oh, sorry for being a Greek god. I eat grapes all the time.
Alright, Dionysus.
Alright, okay. Grapes are lovely. Why, what fruit do you like, then?
you get a lot of I'm a big peach fan.
Oh, for God's sake. Oh, for God's sake. Wonder why you're a peach fan. Go away, Timothy Chalamet.
Timothy Chalamet looks like he could be a Disney character.
Timothy Chalamet.
I know you're going to say it. Just...
I've had enough. That was the sound of me giving up. Right there. For anybody that was wondering.
There was one thing we did forget to mention, though, was you might be able to shed a light on this. Those vultures, they're not Spider-Man villains. Don't worry, but are they like death omens?
I mean, it looks like it, doesn't it?
Yeah, they just they're creepy. Like they gave me freaking nightmares as a kid.
I'm not. I'll ask you this: which vultures do you prefer? These vultures, or the fake Beatles vultures from the Jungle Book?
I hate the animated Jungle Book so much.
But what about the fake Beatles vultures, who are arguably the best part?
They are quite delightful, but I like how scary these vultures are. No, my favourite vulture in pop culture is Michael Keaton, let's be honest.
That's understandable. That is perfectly understandable. But no, yeah, I like those vultures, actually, I must say. They add the sort of eerie, dark tone to it. And like you said right at the start, it does have its very dark tones that are interconnected with these very light Disney. It's as though I sometimes feel, and this might again be why I quite like watching the older Disney films. It's that like they haven't gone full Disney yet. They're still testing things. Like you watch Pinocchio, terrifying in parts. Dumbo is weird as hell in parts. Even like, I mean, I know it's a bit later on, but even to a point, Alice in Wonderland, is
actually
just
Alice in
very, very
Wonderland.
weird.
I am going to give massive credit for because it's the one time Disney saw a book and they weren't like, "Fuck this, we can do it better."
No, to be fair, I adore the animated Alice in Wonderland.
It's way better than
really love it
than the live action one.
I don't think I've even saw the Burton one. I don't ever plan on doing, because I've got my Alice in Wonderland film if I want to go and watch an Alice in Wonderland film. But yeah, I think it's just they've not gone full Disney yet, and brought it to like the sort of stuff now where I just never really want to watch a Disney film. Which is
weird, to be honest.
Like, I feel like it's a shame that I have such little desire to watch modern Disney films.
I have a very little desire to buy them because they're so fucking expensive.
Well, yeah, that's true as well. But thankfully, I was persuaded into watching Moana, and it paid off entirely because, my God, is it wonderful.
It's great. I need to rewatch that soon, actually.
It really is. And it'll be a nice movie for summer as well, seeing as it is, of course, very sunny on Moana's island to something. I don't know what it's called.
The island
it's in,
she lives on.
It's Polynesian. Anyway, do you have anything else to say on Snow White? To be honest, I feel like we've shown a good bit of love to it and a good bit of weirdness to it as well.
Thanks for giving birth to the Disney falling into their death villain thing.
It's a good death. It's a very good death.
I mean, how many times do falling deaths show up in Disney from then on now?
Every film. Every single one.
Oh yeah,
no,
like
it's not
Maleficent falls to her death.
It's not every single one, but there's a hell of a lot.
Gaston does. Clayton from Tarzan kinda does, but he gets hanged.
He gets hung. That's nasty. That might be the best one.
Yeah.
Shadow of a hung Clayton. I love Tarzan as well.
It's a shame that's not from the classics era, because Tarzan's really great.
Tarzan is great. The fun has arrived. See?
I know Tarzan. Get you singing.
I know Tarzan. No, but I won't sing any of the things from Snow White, but I can promise you, if I had have picked Sleeping Beauty, I would be singing. Let's not sing anything that we'll be doing next week, though.
No.
Because, well, for obvious reasons. Nolan, what are we doing next week on week 2 of Animation Month?
I hope I'm not mistaken with this. I'm trying to remember the order.
The order is your Disney film.
Yes, okay. So we're going to be taking a look into a flawed adaptation of my all-time favourite book. We're talking Peter Pan. We're heading to Neverland. It's in London. Captain Hook's ridiculous. There's a crocodile as well. And some decent music and some racism. We'll probably roast it to shit like we did with this one.
Definitely. It'll be an hour-long talk on horrendous Disney racism. No doubt we will also bring up other examples of horrendous Disney racism, because it needs to be talked about, because it's horrendous. I've got a feeling, though, that someone will be going into the Mustache Hall of Fame next week.
Oh, yes, I know who you're talking about.
Yay, it's been ages since we had someone in the Mustache Hall of Fame. Who was... I think the last one was Errol Flynn.
Kind of funny seeing as we said in Robin Hood that he looks like Peter Pan, and then we're talking about Peter Pan for the next Mustache Hall of Fame.
It all just works, doesn't it?
It's a Wonderful Podcast narrative. There you go, Raoul. That's more for your fan fiction. Okay, there you go. That's it. That is it for this slightly shorter episode of It's a Wonderful Podcast on
Snow White, the start of Animation Month and the first ever animated feature length. It's a really enjoyable film to watch. It's such an important film, and you can't not enjoy watching this film. You can't. I'm excited to talk about Peter Pan next week because I know it will probably not be as positive as this episode was. And I know we don't like to get particularly negative on here, so I will try and pull through with some positive thoughts on Peter Pan. I'm sure I'll have plenty, even if all of it's to do with Captain Hook, which I imagine it will be. But yeah, that is it. Nolan, what have you been up to?
I just did a collab with Houston Productions 1. We just had a nice little discussion about the importance of creativity in the online space, and today, well, the time of recording this, I'm also recording another video essay that you will like. I'm going to be talking about A Quiet Place.
Ooh,
with
very
a topic with a certain aspect of it that I have never discovered before, but I saw a TED Talk about sound design, and I really want to apply it to A Quiet Place.
Yeah, I think it's a perfect film to talk about sound design with anyway. Lovely. Yeah, that talk with Houston Productions you did was, as you're listening to this, up last week. So definitely go and check that out. Well worth listening to two guys who know what they're talking about, talk about something they know what they're talking about. Does that make sense?
Yeah, just like this show.
No, I was going to say as opposed to this show, where it's two people that are trying to talk about something they want to talk about, but not really sure they're actually talking about what they want to talk about. But no, if you think one of those two outcomes, please tell us that you think one of those two things, or just tell us that we do know what we're talking about, and, we'll love you forever because you've been nice to us. If you do want to do that, if you're on YouTube, just comment and like it, and more importantly, share the episodes around wherever you're listening to this. Share the episodes around if you would like to be generous. And if you are on Apple Podcasts, rate and review as well. Go and check out Nolan's stuff on his YouTube at Nolan Dean. My YouTube, it's not had anything on it for a few weeks.
Dude,
now,
I need my horror story fix.
Yes, I know. There's stuff on. You go and listen to the other ones. There's stuff on there that you can check out. That's Purple Dawn on YouTube. They are both featured channels on this podcast's YouTube. Follow the podcast on Twitter at It's a Wonderful One, and tweet at us and tell us what you think about the show or any of that good stuff. Buy the t-shirts, more importantly. Buy all the t-shirts, all the phone cases. You can get phone cases, There's links to that on the Twitter as well. Follow me on Twitter at the Purple Dawn with a 3 instead of the E in the, because Patrice Evra, as always. Nolan, follow Nolan on Twitter
at NolanDean27, and of course follow the show at It's a Wonderful One on Twitter as well.
Yes.
And you know what, guys, go follow Houston Productions at Blockbusted Pod. He's a really smart guy, and he's done a lot of video essays that I wish I had the talent of making to his extent, and it was really good of him to come and collaborate with me. So show some appreciation to him as well.
Lovely. Well, until next week, when there will be a new addition to the Mustache Hall of Fame, and I promise you, we won't talk too much about...
Oh, I'm gonna rant a lot. This is gonna be a Nolan Dean rant.
Okay, it's gonna be a Nolan Dean rant. Disregard anything I might say. You're getting a Nolan Dean rant next week, so look out for that. Until then, guys, goodbye.
Goodbye.